Welcome to the CV Sports Talk Show, live from Cleveland, Ohio. It's a great day, you know what I'm saying? Happy Memorial Day to each and everybody out there. Happy Memorial Day to the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, and all the rest of our armed forces, and to all the people who lost loved ones. You know what I'm saying? This is a day we celebrate them, man. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. We got a lot to get into. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Indians and about the last 6 games. We're going to talk about yesterday's game. They finally got their bats out, and Tomlin did a great job pitching. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals. We also going to talk about, is it a rivalry? And we're going to talk about, should it go Game 7, and would it help the NBA by it going Game 7? We're also going to get into the NFL preview. I'm going to preview every division. Today we're going to start with the AFC East. I'm going to do one team a day, and today is the Buffalo Bills. So that should be interesting. We're going to talk about Tiger Woods. I want to know, is it hurting his image? And would he ever be back to the old Tiger? And with this DUI, what does it do for his career and him as a person? And also want to talk something that Victor Cruz said before he signed with the Chicago Bears. He was on the Breakfast Club and he talked about the NFL contracts, and I feel that they should get guaranteed money up front. So we got a lot to get into today. So we're going to start with the Cleveland Indians. Yesterday, they bats came out and they played a great game yesterday, both offensively and defensively and pitching wise. But the last 6 games in the homestand, they was 2-4 against below 500 teams. I mean, not good teams. Minnesota leading the division, but I don't think they're gonna hold, and I don't think Kansas City is for real. So was not a good homestand for the Tribe. Let's see what they can do with this 4-game series against Oklahoma. Against Oakland. Against the Athletics. I just think they need a sweep. They cannot keep winning 3. I mean, you win 3 games against one of the top teams in the major leagues, and then you come back and you lose 4 out of the 6 home games. That just can't happen. Good teams protect their home court, protect their home field, and in order for the Cleveland Indians to make a run, they have to protect home. They have to protect their home. They have to play better at home. You got to win games at home. You cannot be independent without winning games at home. They got to do a better job of playing at Progressive Field. When I went to Saturday's game and the crowd showed up, and the crowd has been showing up this year. I just think they can't be too inconsistent. You can't win 3 games and then you lose next 4. Then you win the next 4. Then you lose the next 5. You're not going to have a good season like that. I feel like if they just can put the pitching staff with Corey Kluber coming back, that's a good sign. He will start Thursday in the series finale. So that's a good sign. And Danny Salazar, we're gonna get into that. He's been demoted to the bullpen. I think that's a good thing, because if you look at Trevor Bauer and Carlos Carrasco, they call him Cookie. They both had to go to the bullpen, and it helped them out tremendously. So I think that was a good move by Terry Francona and Mickey Callaway. So I think that's going to be a good sign. But my thing is, in the last 6 games, what I've been noticing is the starters haven't been going deep, and you've been putting pressure on the bullpen, and the bullpen been giving up runs because they been having to go out there too much. You gonna burn out your bullpen like that. You cannot do that. And the hitting has not been good. If you take away yesterday, it haven't been good. And like I always tell y'all on all my shows, is difference between just a regular hit, okay, but timely hitting and clutch hitting is what wins games, and the Indians has not been able to do that besides yesterday. And that's what's been costing them. And the pitching is only going 4 and 5 innings, and you putting too much, pressure on the bullpen. The bullpen is great, but they can't bail you out all the time. Cody Allen messed up, and Andrew Miller. It's gonna be games like that. They human too, but at the end of the day, they can't keep going out there. And saving you. So I think the starters and the batting has got to pick up. And you can see yesterday when everything is clicking on all cylinders, the Indians is a tough team to beat. And as you can see, Tomlin had a great game. He went 9 innings, a complete game, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, a 5.79 ERA. That's a tremendous game, and he always come through when they need a win. Tomlin is a gamer. He's not gonna walk you, and he's not gonna strike you while he's a contact pitcher. But he has been playing sensational this year. I mean, it was the game against the Twins where he lost 1-0. I mean, you can't do that with an offense like this. And Indians have a great lineup. And Tomlin has been playing terrific. He's been pitching terrific. But it's just everybody else has to, follow. Carrasco been struggling a little bit. Salazar, he's been struggling. He went back to the bullpen. Bauer hasn't been good. As you can look at, and you can look and see that this pitching staff has not been, has not been good as everyone expected them to be, and that's what's hurting this team. And the batting is not hitting like everyone expected them to do. Coming into the season, you would never think they will be 25-23 with 48 games. I mean, you have to have your identity within 50 games of the season, and I don't think the Indians got it yet. I hope yesterday's game was a wake-up call, and I hope that it can, bring the bats out and get this team rolling into a longer winning streak so they can take control of this division, because that's the only thing that's saving them. You look at the Astros and the Yankees, they playing great ball. The Yankees is a surprising team, and they playing great ball. And you can't be inconsistent in sports and expect, to go to the World Series. And they're World Series favorites. So hopefully yesterday, hopefully it can be a turnaround. I just hope in this 4-game series that the bat and the pitching steps up and take advantage of these below 500 teams. I know this the major leagues and anything can happen, but you got to take care of business, especially in front of your home crowd. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in this 4-game series, but I just want to talk about yesterday's game. Yesterday's game was a great breakout game because they really, really needed it. The offense really wasn't clicking. Kipnis had a double. Bradley Zimmer had a double. Jose Ramirez with a double. Edwin Jackson had a great game. He had a double. Jason Kipnis had a home run. And Michael Brantley and Jose Ramirez stole the only 2 bases. But Kip had a big game. He had 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 RBIs, and a walk. He's batting 242. David Robinson, he's struggling. He didn't have a hit. Michael Brantley, he came through with some big hits. He had 3 hits, one RBI. He's batting over 300. Carlos Santana had a great game. He had 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. He's batting 232, but his numbers is better than what you can see as his batting average. Edwin Encarnacion, he had an okay game. He had 1 hit and 1 walk, and he struck out. He's batting 225. Jose Ramirez, after the April that he's been struggling. But he had a great game. He scored 2 runs, had 3 hits, had 3 RBIs, struck out once. He didn't strike out. I take that back. He's batting 274 on the season. Edwin Jackson had a great game. Austin Jackson had a great game yesterday. He had 1 run, 2 RBIs. He had 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 1 strikeout. He's batting 265. And Roberto Perez had a great game. He had an okay game yesterday. He scored 1 run. He had 1 hit. He had 1 RBI. He had 2 walks. He's batting 143, but he hasn't played a lot during this season because Yan Gomes has been doing a great job with the team. He's been coming out of his slump that he's had earlier in the season. And Eric Gonzalez, he was filling in for Francisco Lindor. He didn't have a great day, but you can't expect him to, to have a great day when you're only playing once every 3 weeks. So he had 3 strikeouts, and he's batting 100. But Francisco Lindor, he rested yesterday, but his season stats, he's on a 14-game hitting streak. His batting average is 283, 11 home runs, 24 RBIs. Michael Brantley extended his hitting streak to 13 games. Edwin Encarnacion extended his streak to a 7-game hitting streak. He's got a 350 on base percentage. And since Kipnis took the leadoff spot, he's been batting in 13 games, 351, 5 home runs, and 13 RBIs. Those are great numbers. And Indians are 10-2 when scoring 4 runs or more. They is 15-22 when scoring 3 runs or less in a game. So when the Indians score 4 runs or better, they can win games. When they scoring 3 or less, they lose. And if you look back at this homestand, the games that they lost, they didn't score over 3 runs, and they lost. And the reason why I gave you them stats is because this is a great lineup, and when they get it going, this is what can happen for them. They can click on all cylinders, and they can have a month. They can have a run of a month that's 23-7 easily. But this team have to be more consistent, and as you can see, they have some hidden streaks from some great players. You got Lindor, you got Brantley, you got Edwin Encarnacion. And I'll have to take a break. But when I get back into this, I'm going to talk about the lineup change and talk about the potential of the Indians lineup going forward if they can click on all cylinders. Back in a minute on the CV Sports Talk Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the CV Sports Talk Show. We're gonna get back into talking about our tribe and our Cleveland Indians, like I was talking about during the last segment. I was talking about with this lineup change, and I was giving you all the stats of yesterday's game because it shows the potential of when they all playing together and they all on the same page and they all hitting. The Indians is a tough team to beat. And I told y'all on a couple shows back that before the season that I didn't like Carlos Santana starting off. Leading off because I felt that it takes away a power that can be in the middle of that lineup, and that can be helpful. And I know he had a great year leading off last year, but I just think that but since Edwin Encarnacion just signed, I think he can be